Hello! You are watching the Video Voters Guide, organized by the League of Women Voters of Portland. We are in the studios of Metro East Community Media to talk with candidates running in the November 2020 general election. All candidates who filed for this race were invited to participate in the Video Voters Guide. However, there are many reasons during a campaign why a candidate may be unable to appear. For comprehensive coverage by the League, including information on candidates who might not have been available for a video interview, visit vote411.org. Information is available in both English and Spanish. Candidates may choose to include additional information on Vote 411, such as their own YouTube videos. Watch, share, and be an informed voter.
Hello, I'm Margaret Knoll with the League of Women Voters of Portland. With me today is Ashton Simpson, who is running for State House District 47. Welcome, Ashton.
Thank you, Margaret.
We're going to start with a question about your district. Can you describe the district that you are running to represent, and then tell us something about yourself, why you are running for this office, and whether you have some unique characteristics that distinguish you from the other candidates in this race?
Absolutely. So my district is made up of a diverse community of BIPOC individuals, as well as a lot of renters, a whole lot of renters, and some homeowners sprinkled in there. Part of why I'm running is because we need representation in this district. Part of that representation falls back on my background. I have 8.5 years served in the United States Air Force as a civil engineering assistant, as well as I went to PSU and got my degree in community development. And I believe that with those two life experiences, one, and learning in that realm, it gives me a unique position, because not only do I understand infrastructure and what it takes to get buildings, roads, and things complete into a healthy and vibrant neighborhood, but I also understand how to cultivate community, because community ultimately will prop up everything else in society. I think we focus too much around economic development and don't ever mention community development. And that is an integral piece to my district.
Thank you. The combined effects of COVID-19, the pandemic, plus the devastating wildfires, are going to have a really immense, they already are having an immense effect on Oregon's budget. How should the legislature address these issues?
Well, first, they cannot cut essential services to these communities. COVID has shown and exacerbated the inequalities that exist within this district in terms of housing, rent, and as well as healthcare. But now with the fires and the smoke, now we're looking at a budget cycle where we will see less revenue, but that doesn't mean we take away from those who are without. We have to ensure that we take care of our most vulnerable populations first. We take care of them first, everything else falls in line. I believe in the targeted universalism model, because in that model, it's about taking care of the most vulnerable first. And I'll always say that, because these are people who don't necessarily have a voice or know how to get in positions of power to make their realities change. So it's up to us as the change makers to make that change available to them.
Thank you. What steps will you take to ensure that more Oregonians are qualified for and hired for Oregon jobs?
Absolutely. I believe it starts with youth, right? So we have to put an emphasis on school to career pipelines, with trade schools being an integral leg of that. As we continue to build our communities out and up, we need to see more folks involved in the trades, quality jobs, union jobs. They can, one, do quality work, and two, have a great quality of life to take care of their families and friends.
Right. How can the legislature provide stable, adequate, long-term funding for public schools?
Well, I feel like we need to, one, go to those who have. And when I say those who have, we have to go and get money from the taxes from the wealthy. And that's just the point blank period. You can't put that bill on those who are without. It's kind of a regressive tax. You're going to ask folks who don't have a way to pay for things to also increase their tax burden to pull themselves out of a situation that society put them in. If we corrected our tax systems and everybody paid their fair share, our education system would be fine.
Okay. When misinformation can have damaging effects on democracy. What approaches might you take to ensure Oregonians have accurate and unbiased information about elections and about government?
Absolutely. Transparency and accountability should be two fundamental building blocks for any government, any person serving government. Before I get into that seat and after I get into that seat, I continue to host educational rounds for, especially around non-native English speakers and refugee and immigrant communities, because they are a part of our makeup and communities as well, and they need to be informed. So I believe that it is our duty as legislators to make sure that the information is available to our constituents in our district, unbiased, of course, but we just have to make the information available and available in English. It needs to be translated into whatever language that needs to be translated into so that we can get everyone involved, not just those who have the education or the background or who are just heavy English speakers. We need to get everyone involved.
Okay, so you would do that with your office from your, in some ways, how would you communicate this information?
Through a host of open houses, virtual, and hopefully once we get this pandemic under control and we begin to congregate once again, hosting them in person. But right now, just being totally available, especially in this time of COVID, every legislator should be holding at least informational every other week or at least once a month so that people in their district know what's going on and they can be up to speed, because that's the issue I have now in this district is I don't know what's going on the state level from my current leadership. So I feel as though if I was in that seat at least once a month, I would make myself openly and widely available to my constituents for questions, for information, and whatever else that concerns that they have.
Well, thank you, Ashton. We have about 1 minute left. Is there anything else you would like to say?
One thing around police reform, I feel we need to get rid of qualified immunity. Qualified immunity, in essence, creates a two-tier legal system where those who commit a crime get off. And that is unacceptable because every citizen in this country, in this state, is equal. And the law, no one is above the law.
Well, that's all we have time for. Thank you so much, Ashton, for joining us.
Thank you, Margaret. It's been a pleasure.
This has been the Video Voters Guide. Thank you for watching. The general election is Tuesday, November 3rd. The last day to register is October 13th. Remember to mail your ballot a week ahead or visit a ballot drop location. Be sure to inform yourself about the candidates and ballot measures and exercise your right to vote.